All right, guys. I make YouTube videos. So, hello. Yay! And can I have like, I don't know, what were you saying, like a Mexican wave or something like that? Let's do something cool. How do we do this? How do we organize this? Can we start over there and then go back and then back and up here? Is that cool? Let's try it. All right. All right. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Oh, nice. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Can someone maybe, I don't know. I need just a little footage. Is that possible? You just press this button here. Cool. All right. Mic's working. Awesome. Wow, I'm the first speaker here. I'm just beyond. This is awesome. This is super exciting. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you guys for showing up. Wow, so exciting. So I'm going to be talking about this. How to upgrade your life as a digital nomad, at best, with a holistic and healthy lifestyle. I need to breathe a little bit, because it's always a bit of a nerve-wracking situation when you come on stage. And maybe you guys want to breathe with me a little bit? Is that cool? Yeah. All right, good. You guys are sitting? I'll be standing, that's okay. I'll just be closing my eyes. If you guys want to close your eyes for a second, cool. If not, totally cool as well. And you can just put your hands on your legs and just, I'm just going to be breathing out really hard. And then we'll all breathe in together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go. And just take a few more, 3 or 4 really deep breaths. Whew. All right, that helped. It's funny how breathing just helps, right? It just grounds us straight away. You can't be nervous or panicky if you're breathing really deeply. It's just science, it works. So I was thinking this morning, like, what story am I gonna start this out with? And there's so many stories I could tell, and I had to cut this presentation short a lot last night and this morning, because I could just keep going and going and going. So I'm just gonna dive right in to this. Wherever you go, there you are. I've been at this whole digital nomad thing, being location dependent, for about maybe 5 years. And I really had to learn this the very hard way. Anyone else? Maybe? Yes? It's been a very interesting ride. I've had a lot of highs and lows and everything in between you can imagine. And it's part of the things I want to talk to you guys about. So, this, and that, and this was me, like, basically most of my 20s. I'm 33 now, and this is, I think, the latest one. Wait. Yeah, my 20s. This one was maybe in my late 20s. So I was distracting myself a lot with drinking, with drugs, soft drugs, hard drugs, everything you can get to kind of just distract yourself and not really think about stuff that's maybe really important. And I didn't really have any sort of sense for health, for a healthy body or a healthy mind or any of that. And my diet was basically this. I've been a vegetarian my whole life. I've never eaten meat or fish. Not because I was raised like that, but because I just never wanted it. I never understood as a child why I would want to eat meat. My mother took me from doctor to doctor because she was really worried about her child not eating meat. I come from Germany, the southern part in Bavaria. It's all about meat. So I was a very, as you can see the colors, I was a very racist eater, I have to admit. I did not eat a whole lot of greens or veggies or salads until like my 20s or something. And even throughout most of my 20s, I was such a picky eater, it was really embarrassing. I was sick a lot, like I got a lot of colds. I had a lot of travel bugs. I constantly had stomach issues, and I barely exercised. I always thought it was something that, you know, wasn't fun, exercising. And I had a lot of back pain, and my posture, like literally, it was more like this. And I was generally just very low in energy. I mean, look at that, right? So I've been very nomadic as a teenager, since I was a teenager. And I really used travel and also becoming a digital nomad as like a distraction for a long time. I was really running away into this huge freedom that we all strive for. These places, beautiful places. This was in Bali, a very expensive hotel I was staying at, and this is in Brazil, I think Florianopolis or something. When I look at those photos, I was very depressed, I was very sad, I was very lonely. I was quite unhealthy because especially becoming a digital nomad, it opened up this space for me for a lot of stuff to come up. I don't know, maybe some of you guys can resonate with that. And after a while, I realized that traveling was not the answer to whatever I was looking for. And so instead, I started to travel inwards, into my body, and into my health, and into my soul, and into all of that. So now it's 2016, I believe, and all these years, we sometimes forget, right? Monday, Friday, you know, December, March, whatever. In those years, you know, despite all the ups and downs, I have built a rather successful travel blog business and information product business in Germany, but more importantly, really, I've kind of gotten on this road home to myself and, you know, wherever I am. And I feel like I've really came to a point where I'm living my best, authentic, healthiest self, although I feel like it's getting better by the day, actually. And I don't think I've come this far. I wouldn't be standing here on this stage. I wouldn't be here in Bangkok. I wouldn't be having this awesome life and really enjoying my life so much if it wasn't for a lot of these things that I'm going to share with you today. So, who am I today? A very different person. I feel like everything turned around like 180 degrees. I do a lot of yoga. I did my yoga teacher training a year ago. I meditate every day. I surf whenever I can. I had this really huge breakup in 2012 when, about almost 5 years ago when I started becoming a digital nomad. And that really put me onto my spiritual path, my path to personal growth, really. And I feel like in these years, since I started out, I dealt with loneliness like crazy. I stared depression and the sadness and all of that stuff, and also the physical pain really deep into its eyes over and over again. And I keep doing so. Doesn't stop. It gets better. And I feel like I've come so much closer to who I am, and I've really built this really deep connection to who I am because I've had this opportunity and this freedom of being a digital nomad. What do I eat today? It has changed. I've got more colors on my table. I'm really proud of that I now, there's greens and reds and stuff, so I've expanded my range of veggies and fruits and all that by probably 5 million% in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm mostly plant-based, and drink a lot of green juices, and just really enjoy eating now. I never enjoyed eating as much as I do now. I do have the occasional beer, and I had a wine yesterday. I do, like, once a month maybe have some French fries, but overall, like, I'm not super dogmatic about it. I'm not all like, you gotta be vegan and all that. No, not at all. I just do it because it's fun, and I feel really good doing it. Yeah, more green stuff. Oh, and red. So for me, being a digital nomad really is about experimental living. Like what we're doing here, like we might say, oh yeah, I've been at it for like 5 years. I'm like, yeah, but this is like in the history of humankind, this is a very small piece. And what we're doing is we're experimenting with this lifestyle, with ourselves, with work, with health, with, of how to live a really good, awesome, happy life. And I feel like by doing that, this is what makes us grow and gives us this amazing space to just grow like crazy and turn into these amazing human beings by using this freedom. And so, however, everybody's needs are different, right? There's like 60, 70 people here maybe, and you guys all have different needs. What I'm talking about today and what I live, this is just my take, right? I'm not a health expert, I'm not a health coach, I'm not, whatever. I've just done my work over and over again. I've experimented a lot. Yeah, I've read a lot of books, and I've been on a lot of retreats, and I've done my yoga teacher and all these things. I just get really obsessed with stuff. Like when I'm passionate about something, I just want to know everything about it and try out everything. And I'll tell you a little bit about these things. So I believe that especially for digital nomads, especially for us and you guys, and so many more out there, it's so super, super important to embrace a more holistic and a more healthy lifestyle. For one, I mean, we're moving a lot, right? Some more than others. It's a bit difficult to maintain routines, to have daily rituals, to feel connected, to have community, to feel safe in a new space, to feel grounded. And those are all needs I have. I don't know about you guys, but I like feeling connected and feeling grounded and all that stuff. And the danger of this freedom that we create for ourselves is that there's all this time to party and drink alcohol and lose ourselves and have unhealthy lifestyles and, eat crap at the airport and all that stuff. And so a lot of digital nomads, and I don't know if you guys know if any, but I do more and more so, and I get a lot of emails every day, is that some of them, they give up and they go home because they just can't sustain it. Let it be emotionally, mentally, physically, maybe they can't sustain their business. And God, it makes me sad, like it hurts my heart. So as I did a bit of research, apart from my own life and the stories that I heard here, is what are we getting ourselves into in the name of freedom, right? So more and more of this stuff is coming up. Maybe you guys have read any of these articles. This is actually a really good thread, a lot of really good advice on there. And then more and more about loneliness. Gladly, more people are asking about healthy lifestyle. Because it's so easy, like I said, it's so easy to eat shit. It's so easy to drink lots of alcohol and party. And I just recently, 2 weeks ago, I was at this digital nomad, location-independent entrepreneur, high-level business conference from the Dynamite Circle here in Bangkok. And it's a lot of guys. It's probably like 80% guys. And it's a lot of, people, like guys hustling, and like they're seven-figure businesses, but a lot of them, they didn't look very good. A lot of these guys. There's a lot, yeah, just quite heavy. Bad postures. That one, I don't know. Don't want to make anyone feel bad, but I observed. Wow, there's these guys, and like kicking it, the baddest seven-figure businesses and giving all this amazing advice, but not having very healthy lifestyles at all. And also like their buffet and stuff like that wasn't very healthy at all. So I feel like, and that's my resume, is we really need to take better care of ourselves, even more so because it's more of a challenge for us. So once we attain this freedom and we travel the world and we have a business that sustains us financially, it's like, well, if life's miserable, and we're not happy and our bodies are unhealthy, like what's the point of all this? Why are we doing this? Just to travel, really? Just to hang out in cool places and put up awesome Instagrams and whatnot? So I feel like, and I thought about this, and more and more so in the last year or two, we can use this freedom and really live a life of our fullest potential, and like really turn ourselves into these beautiful, amazing, awesome, super healthy creatures that we are. Creatures. But I feel about, it's not just about mastering our location-dependent businesses, it's more so it's about really mastering ourselves. or the first one really includes the other. And so I really want to question this essential sort of goal of being a digital nomad, this freedom-seeking search, and expand it even beyond our most amazing imagination. Because this movement and what we're doing and what's happening around the world, it can be way more amazing than we can ever imagine. All right, just quickly, what's holistic? Just get it out of the way. I believe it's about this ecosystem. We're an ecosystem, all of us, right? Of a mind, body, soul. And then there's one important one that a lot of us neglect. It's our shadows. It's all that stuff that we don't want to look at because it's uncomfortable and it might hurt and it might be, it might make us sad. And I feel like having a holistic life is also about creating a balance of our diets, nutrition, of exercise, our careers, how to make money, feeling connected, having a purpose, relationships, all these parts of our lives that make up our lives in the end every day. We need to keep in balance because if we stop focusing on one area, then all the others get out of whack as well. If I have issues in my relationship with my partner, then my business is going to suffer, my health is going to suffer. Conversely, if I let go of my health, then again maybe my business will suffer because I'm just not as energetic and productive. So, and we're in the end, we're just like normal people. We're just living life, right? But just in different places. So it doesn't take away the responsibility of us to take care of ourselves. And it's just a little bit more challenging. We can do it. So these days, I try to make my days consciously more awesome. Some other people would call it self-care. So this is like my number one pillar, I would say, but if you told me a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, about self-care and self-love, I would have been like, all right, I wasn't really interested in that sort of stuff. I come from a spiritual mother, but maybe that was the reason I was very anti sort of, let's not go there. But eventually I realized through going through some really intense ups and downs that self-care is where it's at, and that daily rituals rock, and that, we can decide how to live our days and how to spend our lifetime and how to, what to put in all these hours of our days. So why not choose what we do in them wisely, more consciously, and make them awesome every single day, consciously. So I believe that self-care and making my days awesome, it starts with asking myself, what do I need? And that's a question we don't grow up with because it might be selfish or, but it's one of the most beautiful questions we can ask ourselves in the mornings when we get up. Conni, what do you need today? So the first thing that I need in the morning is a stable morning routine. Who of you here has a morning routine? Like one, yeah, that's pretty good. Huh, proud of you guys. So I wake up usually without an alarm clock. I try to have between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. That makes me feel good. I try not to book early flights and all these things in the mornings. If I do want to go to yoga or go surfing in the morning, obviously sometimes I do have to set my alarm. But if I go into bed early enough, I wake up early enough, right? So usually that's maybe around 6, 7, or 8 or so. And then the first thing I do is I go to the bathroom, I pee, and then I sit down on my bed and I meditate. I meditate really hard because I don't want to meditate for too long, so I meditate harder and no, I'm kidding. I used to set an alarm, and I tried everything with meditation, everything that's out there, all the apps and all the whatever. And then now I just sit down, I just close my eyes, and I just hang out with myself, and I see what happens. And if I feel like breathing and watching my breath, I breathe and I watch my breath. If I feel like, saying some awesome affirmations to myself, like I'm opening myself up to love, or that I feel connected, or that whatever it is, then I do that. If I want to visualize things because I worry about stuff, then I do that. So there's all these different things, and I just encourage all of you to just try out different ways, and if it's just for 2 minutes, that's awesome. I do it for 15, 20, 25 minutes, just depending, really. Meditation doesn't have to be rocket science. It's just a way to just connect to yourself and just hang out with yourself. The next thing I do then is I do oil pulling. It's also quite meditative, but mostly it just gets rid of toxins in my body. And I do that with coconut oil. While I do that, I prepare my fresh ginger and lemon tea, and then I drink that, and while I'm reading or maybe writing in my journal, doing my morning pages. And then after that, I would go to yoga, I'd go surfing, or maybe do some push-ups. I recently did like a 30-day push-up challenge. Like I do these things, and it's quite fun to see how your body reacts. And so I do that, and the goal of that really is to delay, not delay work because I don't like it, but I want to focus on myself first. I want to build a foundation for the rest of my day. It might take an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, however long I end up maybe going to yoga or surfing or whatever. But it's so powerful to have this time. And you know how they say, like, meditate every day for 10 minutes, and if you don't have time, then make it an hour or something like that? I kind of feel like that. In the most stressful times, even if you think you don't have time, I'll try and stretch it out. What else? I spoil myself. So I don't know if you guys saw my post in the Facebook group. I love massages, so I went to Bear Hug, like just last week, probably 4 times. And I would get like 2-hour massages, and I can go for 3 hours and 4 hours. I've done that before, but that's self-care. I love that. It's beautiful, and I very consciously tell myself that this is self-care. This is self-love. I had to learn how to say no, and that's another huge thing about self-care. With having a big blog and all that, it comes a huge email inbox and people wanting stuff from you, and it's difficult. But in the end, I feel like I want to manage my stress levels, because as I realized over the years as well, by connecting more to myself, my stress levels, like I don't deal with stress well at all. I can't work like 6 days in a row. I can't do 8-hour working days. Like I just can't do it. It just makes me unhappy. I get really ADHD. I can't focus. I just too much pressure. It's too much. It was also one reason why I didn't go out on stage and speak for a long time, because it was just too much for me, too much stress to get on stage and prepare a talk and all these things. Now I have tools where it's not as stressful anymore. I need a lot of Conni time. I like an intro-extro kind of person, and I have a therapist. I have a life coach, and I've done so for the last like 2 or 3 years, and that's huge. Like that's the essence for me of self-care. And I give myself conscious breaks. I go on retreats. I take real vacations. Like yoga retreats, or like a detox juice fast retreat, or a surfing retreat, or whatever. And I was in Mexico 2 years ago, and it was a 1-month yoga meditation retreat, and I had this new iPhone 6 or something, and I went to the toilet, and it was day 3 or so, and it was one of those toilets where it says like a sign, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's, well, I kind of dropped my phone into a lot of mellow, and that was on day 3 of a month, and I was very far away from like an iPhone shop or anything like that. And that was beautiful. Like the other 27 days, like without a phone, I mean, it was pretty disgusting having to get it out. But yeah, wow, having that conscious break was really powerful. I went on a silent retreat in Bali last year over Christmas. No phone at all, no computer. And after that, you're just like, wow, like just creativity and productivity just out the window. It's amazing, yeah. A big one, and I'm totally running out of time here because I can just keep going and going. But I say honoring my body. Oh, I don't know what. Okay. I screwed it up. Anyway, I say honor my body because aka physical health, because it's like a yoga teacher thing. It's like when you're on the mat and you're like, just honor your body, and I find that really funny. So I just felt like I need to put that in there. So once I set the foundation with my health and with my self-care and doing yoga or surfing or whatever, and so the diet is for me personally is a huge thing, because that's like, I mean, we put food into our mouths every day, and it's like that's fuel for everything we do and for every movement I make. Like it comes because I eat, obviously, and also because there's sun and I'm breathing, but a lot of it is food, and it took me a very long time to realize that. And like I said, you can be a very unhealthy vegetarian, you can be a very unhealthy vegan. But once I realized how awesome veggies are, especially when they're not processed, like, wow, you know? So to realize that how important it is to treat my body like a temple, that was huge. So yeah, just try to be as natural as possible, as plant-based as possible. I'm not saying everybody needs to, you know, live my way at all. I'm just saying what works for me, and this really works because from my experimentation, I feel super awesome every day. By not eating stuff that comes out of a package, by eating little sugar, although I have real issues with chocolate and stuff, little oils, and just eating like things that are as close to its natural state as possible. That's clean eating for me. So it's actually not that hard, and it's really not about having a diet. Like, I don't feel like I'm dieting. This is, for me, it's a lifestyle. It's something that makes me feel really awesome. It's something that I don't ever want to go back to not doing it that way. So when people ask me, oh, Conni, you're so disciplined, like, I couldn't, you know, eat that way all the time. I'm like, it's not discipline. Like, once you realize how awesome your body can feel, once you do like a juice fast, once you just eat unprocessed foods and you eat clean and your body attunes to that, you don't ever want to go back to where you came from. And like I said, like for almost 30 years of my life, I was eating white things. So I've come a long way. Like spinach and mushrooms, like I hated that always. Now I love it. I just started eating mushrooms this year actually, and it's been really awesome. So thank you. So yeah, I can talk to you forever about just nutrition and things like that. But actually, as a digital nomad, it's really awesome because I really enjoy traveling the world in that way with Happy Cow, this app where I find out about vegan, veggie cafes and restaurants. And there's always organic, like in most places anyway, like organic supermarkets or local farmers markets or, you know, places where I can get my healthy fix, especially in like tropical countries. It's amazing. And in the end, I think my advice would be just experiment. If there's anything you want to change, if you maybe just want to, you know, if you feel a little bit inspired, then just experiment, see what works. And I didn't become plant-based like forever. I just started with a month, you know, or just start with a week, maybe not having coffee for a week or something like that. Just see how your body reacts and like get more into connection of what you put into it and how that reacts. And so the last one, I call it emotional health or dealing with my shit. And Peter Levels, Nomad list and all that, he wrote an article and said, or he was interviewed, anyway, this is a quote, "However, I realized that sadly everywhere I traveled, I took myself with me. My anxieties, my bad habits, my hurtful stories, my negative beliefs followed me all over." And this is Peter Levels, right? I've met him a few times personally, like he's a cool guy, and you wouldn't think that he's got issues. Most people don't think I've got issues. We all have issues though, because we all have these shadows that we just don't want to look at. And as digital nomads, it doesn't mean that they go away just because we're off traveling the world and having an awesome life and making passive income. And nope, there's no running, and we can't, travel it off or exercise it off or, any of that. So this space actually that we create by having this freedom is quite a nurturing ground. I don't know, maybe some of you guys have had your own experiences. So I've gone through a lot of that, as I've said earlier, and I keep continuing to do so. I had a really rough week this last week. I had a really rough session with my life coach or therapist a couple of days ago. And but it's part of this, and I wanted to find ways not having to go home. I don't want to go home because that's not where I want to be. That's not where I'm happy. I want to be traveling the world. I want to live in different places because it makes me happy, but I also want to find ways to deal with my shit. And so eventually I found a therapist who, works with me through Skype every week, and she accommodates being in different time zones all the time, for example. And I lived in Bali for quite a long time, a year and a half or two or so, until recently. And so I experimented a lot with energy healing and body work and all these beautiful things you can do there. Just started to not distract myself anymore by traveling or drinking and taking drugs and all these, and an unhealthy diet and whatnot. And in the beginning, though, I thought I could heal hacking, because we hack everything, you know, life hacking and whatnot. So I was like, I can heal, I can hack healing. And I can do this in a year. I'll figure everything out in a year and like get it out and look at it and blah, blah. And so I did all these retreats and went to all these energy healers and, you know, and did several sessions a week with my therapist. And then I realized sometime last year, I was like, man, shit. Like, so I've been at this now for a year and yet it's still, I'm not there yet. And then eventually I realized, and this was probably one of my biggest epiphanies this year, is like, this is a long process. It will you can't hack this. You can't hack your shit, your shadows. It just doesn't work like that. So I made friends. It's part of who I am. It's part of my journey as a digital nomad. I'll take it wherever I go. And I'm okay with that. Because I now have tools. I have a support network of amazing people around the world, wherever I go, through Skype or whatever, to help me. And so, you know, I feel like we can live an even better and more amazing life if we look at that stuff and if we take all of those self-limiting old beliefs that we carry from our childhoods and like take it out and put it right there and look at them and maybe change them or just work with them or, yeah. And I feel like we can all become more amazing human beings and really fulfill our potential by doing that. And we don't talk about it enough. And I feel like I really wanted to talk about this today. So to bring this all together, really, for me, it's what I also realized, one reason why I spend so much time in Bali as well, is because we can choose where we fulfill our needs and what places are good for us. Bangkok, for me, I've been here for 3 weeks now. It's been so ungrounding, I'm going crazy. I thought it would be a great idea to be here for 3 weeks, but I can't handle it. I'm too sensitive of a soul for a big city like this. I'm craving nature. I'm craving like no traffic places and places where I can just see as far as possible. So I need that. I need the beach. I need the ocean. I like to have vegan food around or healthy access to healthy food. I like to have yoga around. Like an entrepreneurial digital nomad community is awesome and inspiring. Maybe some LGBTQ people and a community there. So I made a list of all these things that I need, and maybe you guys have some of your own. But that's how I choose my places, and there's quite a few around. Like there's Bali. I want to spend some more time. Also in like Byron Bay in Australia, there's a few places in Mexico. There's a place in Costa Rica, Santa Teresa, that I visited this year. And I even put up a question in the Nomad List forum about where's the best places for hippie digital nomads. Like, I want to find all these places and put them on a map because I know that there's other people out there looking for the same places. Not everyone has the same needs, but let's look for places that are good for us. So yeah, I guess my final message to you guys is we live this amazing freedom. It's huge, it's amazing, it's powerful, it's privileged, and we can really, really use this freedom and make it even more special and make it even more magical and set us up in our business and our lives and changing this world to like set it up for even more success. And so I just really, really encourage you, maybe by just telling really tiny bits and pieces of my story, to just start experimenting and asking ourselves, like, how can we be good to ourselves, right? What's good for us? How can we honor ourselves more? How can we honor our lives more, but also our businesses more? And how can we honor this freedom more that we have? Because it's so special. And so, I've gone from this outer journey to this inner journey, because I feel like, and I know this might sound super cheesy, but I feel like that, once we've arrived within ourselves, like, we can go wherever we want and we'll be fine. Because then we can really go traveling. And yeah, let's just really go traveling together and make this whole movement even more beautiful and special. Thank you very much.